This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
The time 6:15 p.m. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. Here's the news edited by Romesh Piris and read by Tilani Piris. The NRC to expedite scientific validation on indigenous COVID-19 drugs. The Defence Secretary says be accountable for assets maintained from public funds. PCR tests exceed 1 million. Sri Lanka to resume flight operations from December 26th. 42 schools in Kandy to reopen from tomorrow. The new Palyagoda Manning Market Complex open for wholesale from tomorrow. And on international news, Brexit, EU offer unacceptable as trade talks continue. And on sports news, LPL 2020, the first semi-final encounter of the tournament tonight. The Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa has advised the National Research Council of Sri Lanka to expedite investigations into the scientific validation of indigenous medications prepared in Sri Lanka to counter COVID-19. The Prime Minister has recommended to the NRC to further verify the indigenous medicine approved by the University of Colombo, the indigenous treatment methods introduced by Dr. Harsha Subasinghe and Indika Jagoda, and the indigenous medicine created by indigenous medical practitioner Dhammika Bandara of Kagalla. A research paper on the drug by Dhammika Bandara of Kagalla is currently being prepared with the intervention of the professors of the medical faculty of the Rajaratha University. The Defence Secretary, Major General retired Kamal Gunaratne, says the more you reach higher in the ladder, the more you are expected to act responsibly. He said that Sri Lanka, being a developing country, constantly allocates a considerable portion of its government revenue for the defence of the country, and it is your responsibility to be accountable for your assets which are maintained from the public money. The Defence Secretary expressed these remarks while addressing a commissioning ceremony as the chief guest held at the prestigious Naval and Maritime Academy at Trincomalee. A total of 62 new officers of the 35th intake of General Sir John Kothalavala Defence University and 61st NMA intake received the commission during yesterday's splendid ceremony. The Civil Aviation Authority of Sri Lanka has informed the civil aviation authorities around the globe of the proposed resumption of commercial and charter flights operations to Sri Lanka beginning from December 26th. CAASL Chairman Upul Dharmadasa said in a statement that the CAASL and an aviation regulator in Sri Lanka would be disseminating the appropriate directives to the travel industry in due course of the opening of the Sri Lanka airspace for upcoming commercial and charter flights operations. The chairman further stated that the CAASL is dedicated to facilitating, promoting and marketing tourism in Sri Lanka by respective agencies while acting as an exponent to the aviation industry of the island under the present conditions. This news broadcast comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
Save your card with a balance transfer facility from People's Bank. More details at peoplesbank.lk.
A total of 42 schools within the Kandy city limits, except for 3 which are currently closed due to the COVID-19 pandemic, will be reopened tomorrow. The decision was taken following a discussion held last Friday at the Governor Office on the prevailing COVID-19 situation in Kandy. Central Province Governor Lalit Gamage said the Zonal Education Director will inform the heads of schools accordingly. However, the schools, namely Takshila Vidyalaya, Trinity College and Kalei Magal Tamil Mahavidyalayam, will remain closed. The new Manning Market Complex in Palyagoda will be open for wholesale trading tomorrow. The chairman of the Manning Market Traders Association, Lal Hettige, said the new Manning Market Complex will open from 4 p.m. to 12 noon on Monday for all traders and farmers under the supervision of Nalaka Godaheva and at the request of Basil Rajapaksa. Only wholesalers are requested to bring their agricultural produce on that day so that trade can be carried out without congestion. The new Manning Market Complex in Palyagoda was declared declared open on November 20th by Minister of Urban Development and Housing, Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa. The Colombo University's Physics Department Professor and Astronomy and Space Science Unit Director Professor Chandanaja Ratna says an annually occurring meteor shower called Geminids will be best seen in this year from Sri Lanka tonight. He said that it will be this year's greatest meteor shower show. He said if the sky is clear and dark with no city lights or pollution, you may be able to see about 120 meteors per hour. He went on to say that to observe these meteors, look east after 9 p.m. today and towards the west before sunrise tomorrow. Professor Jaratna added that no binoculars or telescopes are needed to see the multicolored meteor shower. That ends local news for now.
Save your card with the balance transfer facility from People's Bank. Transfer the balance of another credit card to a People's Bank credit card with the lowest interest rate. More details at www.peoplesbank.lk.
A mother knows the pain of each member of the family. Siddha Lepa, the trusted relief for aches and pains.
An effective therapy for relief from cold, sneezing, flu, headaches, swelling due to toothaches, rheumatic, discomforts, and muscular aches and pains. Siddha Lepa, the Vidya Mahatmya in every home.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddha Lepa Vidya Mahatmya.
The Health Ministry stated that the number of polymerase chain reaction tests conducted to identify COVID-19 infected in the country has exceeded 1 million. Accordingly, a total number of 1,011,919 PCR tests have been performed as of yesterday. PCR tests are currently being conducted at 28 locations, including hospitals, universities and laboratories island-wide. The highest number of PCR tests, 133,188, had been conducted by the Medical Research Institute in Borella. That was the main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddha Lepa Vidya Mahatmya.
Brush your teeth twice a day for healthy teeth and gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, your trusted brands in oral care for many years.
Supiriviki Ayurvedic toothpaste for adults. Kakulu Ayurvedic toothpaste for kids. 9 Ayurvedic ingredients of Supiriviki will protect your teeth and strengthen your gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, products from Siddha Lepa.
And on Watch Light this evening, the police media spokesperson DIG Ajit Rohana says that the annual transfers of police officers are due to take effect from the 1st of January in 2021. However, the transfers of police officers with children facing the GCE ordinary level examination have been temporarily suspended until the end of the exam. Accordingly, the annual transfers of the relevant officers will take effect on the 15th of March. The GCE ordinary level examination for the year 2020 is scheduled to be held from the 1st to the 11th of March 2021. That came to you in Watchlight, and now we continue with world news, the headlines first. Brexit, EU offer unacceptable as trade talks continue. India farmers intensify protests as deadlock over new laws continue. Charlie Pride, country music singer, dies of COVID-19. Post-Brexit trade talks have gone through the night as the UK and EU enter a critical day with leaders set to decide whether a deal can be done. Both sides have warned they are unlikely to reach an agreement. The terms offered by the European Union continue to be unacceptable to the UK. Boris Johnson is expected to speak with European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen after agreeing on today's deadline earlier this week. If the two sides have not come to an agreement, Mr. Johnson and Mrs. von der Leyen will decide whether to abandon negotiations or continue them beyond the deadline. Tens of thousands of Indian farmers today intensified their protests against 3 new agricultural laws aimed at overhauling food grain procurement and pricing rules by allowing private companies direct access to the vast agrarian sector. Angry farmers staged demonstrations near New Delhi after rejecting Prime Minister Narendra Modi's assurances that the laws would double farmers' income. 6 rounds of talks between government officials and farmer union leaders have failed to resolve the challenge faced by Modi government. Charlie Pride, the first African American to enter the Country Music Hall of Fame, has died age 86. He rose to fame in the 1960s and passed away yesterday from complications of COVID-19. While Pride was not the first black singer in country music, he became one of its biggest stars during a period of division in the US. He won 3 Grammy Awards, followed by a Lifetime Achievement Award in 2017. Country star Dolly Parton, who described Pride as one of my dearest and oldest friends, said she was heartbroken at the news of his death. Back to the world news headlines. Brexit, EU offer unacceptable as trade talks continue. India farmers intensify protests as deadlock over new laws continue. Charlie Pride, country music singer, dies of COVID-19. That ends world news. Now we continue with the development news. One of the largest food processing factories in South Asia was opened today at the Katunaiki Investment Promotion Zone. The food processing factory is owned by a local businessman with an investment of 1.5 billion rupees. The factory is established aiming to meet 10% of international market requirements for food-related products. The factory is located on 3-acre land in IPZ at Katunaika. The factory will provide 300 job opportunities and aiming to produce food products, including local tradition food varieties with premium quality, and targets to export its products to the Maldives, Middle East countries and India. That was development news. And on to sports news. LPL 2020. After winning the toss and choosing to bowl, Galle Gladiators captain Bhanuka Rajapaksa could not have asked for a better start from his opening bowlers in this effective quarter-final. Coming into this match with a superior net run rate, the Gladiators knew that victory would be enough to send them through to the semi-finals. Candy Tuskers have been eliminated from the competition on the net run rate, with 2 wins and 6 defeats from their 8 games. Gladiators will be taking on Colombo Kings at Suryavevar Stadium tonight. Live ball-by-ball commentaries of the first semi-final encounter will be broadcast by the official radio station of the tournament, the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. That came to you on Sports News. And now coming up, economic news. The United States launched a new $19.5 million initiative to help small businesses and economically empower Sri Lankan women. The private sector development project, which is funded through the U.S. Agency for International Development, will provide technical assistance and financing to small businesses in tourism, technology and commercial care industries. It will also help Sri Lanka weather the economic impact of COVID-19 by providing much-needed financial assistance through which businesses will be able to expand job opportunities for women. The U.S. Ambassador to Sri Lanka, Elena B. Teplitz, stated that this project demonstrates the United States' long-term commitment to engage the private sector in development cooperation that shape market division-driven solutions to achieve sustained impacts. That's economic news.
Economic news, courtesy of...
Congratulations on your promotion. When will be our treat, huh?
How about today?
Oh no, I was just joking.
It's fine. I have my LOLC credit card with me. Let's go out today.
Introducing LOLC Finance Credit Cards. Fuel the goodness in you.
And on business news, Sri Lankan Airlines is set to increase the frequency of passenger flights from Colombo to Singapore from once a week to thrice a week from December 18th. Sri Lankan Airlines said in a statement that Sri Lankan will also operate a weekly service between Kuala Lumpur and Colombo every Friday. Passengers intending to travel with Sri Lankan Airlines to these destinations and beyond are requested to book their tickets from the airline's ticket office in Colombo, Galle and Kandy or through their preferred travel agent. Passengers are requested to contact Sri Lankan Airlines Global Contact Centre on 9411 777 1979 or visit www.srilankan.com for more information. That came to you on Business News.
Hello, Puta. Did you land already?
No, Amma. We're in transit and our flight got delayed.
Oh, really? How is Shani? Poor thing with her pregnancy. She might be feeling very uncomfortable. The airport must be heavily crowded because it's a season.
Amma, calm down. Everything is sorted. Why, I have my LOLC World Card with me. We are at the VIP lounge. There's nothing to worry.
Those those who spread goodness radiate happiness to everyone around them. Introducing LOLC Finance Credit Cards. Fuel the goodness in you.
And now to conclude the weather report, the Department of Meteorology says showers or thunder showers may occur at a few places in the Sabaragamuwa, Central and Uva provinces and in Kalutara, Gaul and Matra districts in the evening. However, mainly fair weather will prevail over most parts of the island, the department said. Sea areas, a few showers may occur in the sea areas extending from Gaul to Batikalo via Matara, Hambantota and Pothuil. Mainly fair weather will prevail in the other sea areas around the island. That was the weather report. And now to end this news broadcast, the main points once again. The NRC is to expedite scientific validation of indigenous COVID-19 drugs. The Defence Secretary says be accountable for assets maintained from public funds. PCR tests exceed 1 million. Sri Lanka to resume flight operations from December 26th. 42 schools in Kandy to reopen from tomorrow. The new Paliagodamani Market Complex open for wholesale from tomorrow. And on international news, Brexit, EU offer unacceptable as trade talks continue. Sports news, LPL 2020, the first semi-final encounter of the tournament tonight. That ends this news broadcast, and now it's back to J. Yogaraj on a Sunday evening.